Welcome back to another week of Instigating with Clarkey and Drury, brought to you by our friends at Larry Hudson, Chevrolet Buick GMC in the Listowel Squash Courts. Ryan Drury alongside Clarkey and joined by our good friend and also big Leaf fan, Ian Doig of the Ian Doig Golf Academy. Guys, well, it's Friday morning and it's the morning after another disappointing Leafs loss in a game where they could have clinched a first round series. Clarkey, I'll start with you. I don't even know why I'm asking this. How are you feeling?
I felt last night like, and I think it's totally normal of a Leaf fan. Here we go again. You hope the team's not feeling that because if they do, they're done. But you gotta think that the mental aspect of this is weighing on the shoulders of every Leaf fan and every player, and it's going to be hard to overcome. They just got to go and do it. And Ian and I were chatting this morning before we got on. They just can't think they're going to play 5 minutes and win a hockey game. And Doigie, I think you agree that's what they did last night.
Yeah, I was very surprised that from the drop of the puck, they didn't have all this energy, and they just looked flat. They looked slow. They weren't on top of it. And what gets me is, they got away with the 2 games in Tampa. They probably shouldn't have won either one of them, let alone both of them. But they played great third periods and then into the overtime. And then they come out at home last night and play like that the whole game. I mean, the only time that they really looked like they were a hockey team again was in the last 5 minutes when they were desperate. And they looked good. They could have tied it up. They could have went into overtime and won again, but they didn't get it done because Vasilevsky played his game. I mean, he was spectacular, especially in the last, 8 minutes of the game.
Yeah, it's interesting. I kind of feel right now as we record this like the Leafs did to start that game. I'm a little sluggish, but I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to perform. Yeah. We're filming this the night after, and as this show airs, people, you can tune in during commercial breaks. The Mount Forest Patriots, of course, battling the Steiner Siskins for Northern Conference Championship glory in the PJHL. I will tell all our viewers they play Game 5 on the Friday night, April 28th. If the Patriots win, you can listen to Game 6, which will be back in Steiner Sunday at, I believe, puck drop is 1:30. We will bring that to you live. So I'm a little sluggish. Didn't get home till 1 a.m. However, here we are filming this in the morning, and look, I'm getting my energy back. We're going to turn this thing around. But
it's taken you a few minutes, Ryan. You should have come right out of the gate.
I should have. That's right. I should be professional, and I should come out and be ready to perform here.
But they got the first goal last night, and then our buddy,
they did.
Bobby Holl, can't defend. He can't do it. He's been on the ice for 72% of the Leaf goals. They have to make a change. Liljegren has to come in for Game 6. Absolute has to do it.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because I saw some stats last night as I'm driving home with our friend Steve Sabrin that I started relaying to him off the Twitter machine, and I couldn't believe it. There are some stats that are just flat out inexcusable. One of them now is that it's actually up to 73.3%. Justin Holl has been, and it's easy to point out scapegoats when you lose. If this was a stat that existed, Ryan, and they won, no one cares. But this is what it is. He's on the
ice right after the Leafs scored an early goal.
He has been on the ice for 14 of Tampa's 19 goals in this series.
It's incredible.
I mean, this just cannot continue. 2 more last night that he was on the ice for. And I also saw a stat that now says Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, and William Nylander collectively are now 0 for 10 in games where they could clinch a series.
Yeah, and Mitch hasn't scored a goal. Mitch hasn't scored a goal. The other guy
Marner has no goals.
Zero.
In those 10 losses. Marner has 0 goals. Night. But the 3 of them collectively have 3. And we talk all the time about how no matter what ends up happening, your best players have got to stand up and be your best players in critical moments. That's who gets it done.
Yeah.
Like we can talk about the fourth line matching up against this guy and the third line gets that.
Yeah, it doesn't
your
matter.
best players, when the chips are down, they got to make it happen.
Did you
and
see Rick
Marner and Nylander didn't show up last night. They were awful. Matthews tried. I mean, I thought Matthews worked hard. You know, I mean, he got a goal and stuff, but the other two were basically invisible. Fancy pants, as Clarkey calls him, was making mistakes all over the ice. I mean,
and just didn't seem like there was an effort. Like stick checks everywhere. Yeah. Like just not going in and being more aggressive. They're outmanning guys on the boards, and he's there just looking for the puck instead of maybe just moving a guy and getting the puck. He's just sitting there with his sticks, fishing.
Even the commentators, like I have the Tampa feed down here, so I have the Tampa commentators talking, and at one point in time, they were talking about how Nylander just sits back and waits for the puck to come to him. Like they were screaming at him, "Go get the puck! Go get the puck!" But he wasn't doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, crazy. He again, and we're nitpicking, and we're talking about very talented players, and we understand that here. But this is the playoffs, and there are things that you just have to be willing to do. And Clarkey, we talked about this when we broke down game one, and then talked about and heaped praise on them with their performance in game two. Like, you have got to be willing to out battle people on a consistent basis, and Tampa's willing to do it. Tampa's willing to put themselves in harm's way to get just about every puck that they want and outwill you. And if you're going to sit there as William Nylander and not go after pucks, I mean, and I'm not trying to be insulting here, like he is his dad. Like his dad was such a talented player and would drive people crazy. He was one of those, he's so talented, but players. And there's a lot of them out there. Like, we're not just picking on Willie here, but he is one of those. He's very talented, but he doesn't always give you the little things that are required to win hockey games sometimes. A goal comes around every now and then. Effort is a thing that stands out constantly. It's nice to score a goal, but if you're out there laying your body on the line, making a hit, again, we're not asking the guy to run people over like Scott Stevens, but like, for God's sake, man, can you look like you're alive out there and win a board battle? Jesus, right? Like it's getting to be ridiculous.
You know what gets me is those guys are sitting on the bench, and obviously I'm a little biased because he's a Seaforth boy, but if you're sitting on that bench and watching Ryan O'Reilly play the way he plays, and you can't get excited about that and play just like him, something's wrong.
And Doigie, right? I don't know if you noticed late in the game, like these guys, the stars of the team had been playing they played probably 4 minutes of the last 5. With a minute left, they looked like they were done. But Ryan O'Reilly outskated everybody down the ice. And I'm like, How can this guy do it at his age? And Matthews and Marner and Nylander look like they have no energy whatsoever. I don't get it. Yeah. I do get it. This guy's got the will. He's got the will to win. He's got the will to do everything he can to make the team and help the team win. And unless the other guys want to do it, man, like we went yesterday, Ian, we said the S word, the SC word. If they could get by this, we did. We said the word.
Yeah, we did.
Like, we thought if they win last night, they have a shot. Well, they got to play better, and they got to get this monkey off their back. And like everything, like even the fans at the stadium, like a big Leaf fan with a sign saying, "Get the monkey off our back." No, don't say that. Just go and do it. But you know what I mean? Like it's just so frustrating.
If they don't win this game back in Tampa, it's going to be crazy. Like
Harry, I go to Harry's and Drayton. And we're debating whether even to watch Game 7 if there is one.
Well, that's it. If it goes to Game 7, I'm going to find something else to do, I think, for the day. Like I just
and just hope you wake up in the morning and it's okay. There's a round 2. Pick up.
Yeah, I have a friend that on social media keeps posting. He goes, "Spring is near. Spring is near. The Leafs only have to lose 2 more," and it drives me crazy, right? But that's what he talks about it every year. He says spring doesn't come around until the Leafs are out of the playoffs.
Unfortunately, the Leafs have done it to us. Like that's why. It was interesting seeing just quickly change topics, but seeing Rick Bowness after the Winnipeg game last night. There's some juicy talk there. Like there's issues in that dressing room and with those superstar players too. And something has to give with these guys. Like I think it's obvious if they do lose the next 2 games, they're cleaning house, and we'll see who survives player wise. But the upper management 100%. Coach will be gone. They have to be. Like there's no question about it.
I wonder sometimes, every time a new player comes into Toronto, you hear them talk about how well they're treated, the dressing room, the workout facilities, the practice facilities, and all that stuff. And I sometimes wonder, maybe they're too pampered. Maybe they need to go back to the old days where, they had to carry their own bags into the dressing room and stuff before the game. I don't know. They got to figure out something. They got to figure out where their heart is, because last night they played with no heart. There was 3 guys on the ice that had heart, right?
And it's one of those things too, guys, where and I would suggest you watch Game 7, because if they do win, I mean, you want to take in.
I think I will
joy, but that's been a big topic, right? Like people are talking, like all the pundits, the Overdrive guys, like the fan base is afraid to feel joy. Like the wins they got, the comeback OT win, like people are just going like, oh my God, wow, I can't believe they did that. Like a lot of people turned it off, but I don't blame them for that either, right? Like it's the fragility of the mind is a strange thing. And I don't know what it takes. Like a large majority of sports like this, when the pressure's on, is between the ears. Like it's one of those things where you can constantly keep
100%,
saying,
man.
They have talent. They have talent. And it's like, talent is good. Like that's step 1. Like you got to have talent. It's just that to get over a hump where another team, who's also talented, by the way, wants it more than you have to decide, can I turn it up to a level where I just take this from somebody? Like you're in a wrestling match here. And right now their backs are on the mat, even though they lead the series still.
I know.
I said this last year. I don't want to do this again. I said last year, I still think they'll win. And they didn't.
And you said in 6 games, so maybe you're right on.
Maybe I am right on. Well. I did say in 6.
I said 5.
That's why absolutely do it. And the mental side of it is an odd thing. Like, do they need to bring the last from Ted Lasso in or something to sit down with these guys and dissect it? I don't know what it is. Like, I don't think it's that they don't want to win. I think that they don't know how to react to the situations in clutch moments when it's tough and the other team is pushing and they're trying to find a way.
So how do you get over that? No, and neither do they. And that's
they've had 6 years to learn that, though. That's the problem.
I know, but learning anything. I hate when I hear that's a learning moment. Like the learning needs to be done, and we need to just I don't know, especially the way they came back in the games in Tampa. They're down 4-1. Like this team.
Yeah.
And Ryan, you talked about it last week. You got to have a little will and a little heart to come back from deficits. And in game 1, they didn't do it. They crumbled. This team, I thought, was different. And I was texting our friend Dave Poulin, and I just said to him, this is a different team. And he goes, not yet. And I go, no, they're different. You're going to see it. They're different. This is a different team. And he kept saying, not yet. And I'm not going to text him this morning because I know.
I kind of look at the Leafs a little bit from this perspective, and I'm going to go to golf a little bit. I played in a Canadian Tour event a couple of years ago with the kids. They're all 22 years old, and I was almost 60. And the first round was dead calm, no wind or whatever. And the 2 kids I played with shot 68 and 69 respectively, and I shot 75. And then we went out for the second round, and the wind was howling 45 miles an hour all day long. And they didn't have the knowledge or the wherewithal to know how to hit the golf ball low into the wind. And they both shot 80 that day and missed the cut. And I shot 69 and made the cut. And that's just experience and knowing how to play in those conditions. But the Leafs have not learned. I mean, we're 6 years into this with basically the same core of players, and they're not learning how to play when they need
So
to.
is it coaching or is it the players? Because I had this debate last night too.
I watched Kiefer and I like him as a coach, but I mean, I look and I think sometimes if John Tortorella was on that bench, it would be a little bit different. So I don't know.
It would be different. You're right there.
It certainly would, and that's the vibe check. Like what kind of coach suits it best? Because to be perfectly fair, and he's called them out before and criticized certain guys. And we all remember the Marner fiasco earlier this year where he criticized him and he threw a temper tantrum in the hallway and broke a stick. And then the next day he walked his comments back. It's like, it's a difference in style, right? Like there are guys in the league that just wouldn't do that. Like Clarkey, I got to do it because, I mean, it's the thing I have the most knowledge of. That year the Caps won. They sat Ovechkin. He was late for a team meeting. And Barry Trotz, and they won that night, by the way. And Barry Trotz, I think Ovi was 5 minutes late. And Trotz sat him. And before the game, people were wondering, is Ovi hurt? Like, what? The guy's never hurt. Like, he's not playing tonight. And Trotz just said, well, he missed a meeting. He said this after the game. He said, at the start when people saw the lineup, we're going to discuss it internally. After the game, he said, look, he missed a meeting and I'm not accepting that. And we have to set an example here. That's the friggin' captain of your team. Yeah, and
it's not
he
Michael
sat
Bunting.
there and he didn't come out the next day at morning skate and go, I just want to say, I was a little hard on Alex about it. No. Business as usual. They kept on going. They worked on the power play at morning skate and they continued onward. Like, set an example with the guy, the big cat. Like, I'm not saying that Sheldon necessarily approached it in an incorrect way, but it is worth saying that I still think they'll win the series. I mean, like, come on here. But if they lose again in a way where they had a stranglehold on the series, whether they deserved to or not, look, they won those games. They came back and they won those games. The downfall of the front office and some of the players is going to be the stubbornness and unwillingness to change in the face of clear need for adjustment. If Justin Holl is playing on Saturday or in a potential game 7, they will deserve to lose. And I'm not trying to pick on this guy. I'm sure he's a great guy and a well-liked teammate. He must be. He better be at least that because he can't play. Like, he can't defend. I don't want that guy anywhere near my blue line. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, how about one of the plays last night when they scored, the winger was coming down the boards and Holl turned the wrong way. This is one of the first things you're taught when you're a defenseman is that you turn into the player. So he's on the board, you turn into him because you can angle him off. Holl turned to the center of the ice, which gives him an extra 8 feet of space to skate into. So the winger skate into the net.
Having said that, Samsonov has to stop that puck.
Yes, you're right. He does.
Ryan, don't go there.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Don't go there.
But Holl made a mistake because he can't turn when he's backing up. He can't turn to his right. He has to turn to his left because that's the way his legs cross over. He can't go the other way. So it's a deficiency. And I sometimes look at as well as Morgan Riley has played so far because he's scored some goals and he's had assists and everything. I look at him sometimes and I'm not sure he can skate backwards because I look at him and he's coming back and he always turns so that he can skate forward and angle the guy. Right? Well, the minute you turn your back to the flow of the game that's coming at you, you're in trouble because you can't see it. You got to keep your eyes on the play. And he turns and gets his back to the play all the time.
It's just one of those. Oh, no, I completely agree. And it's stuff that you can point out easily when they have losses like this. And, Clarkey Pooley is right. Like, they are not different until they are. It's just kind of the way sports is. Like, you are right now. And if they do this again, like, God forbid, like, please stop this. Like, this cannot continue. It bet like they're 0-10 in elimination games where they could clinch a series. If it hits 0-12, like right now,
0-11 now. I think
it's
it's
0-10.
I think it's 0-11.
It's 0-10 because
if it goes to 0-12, there will be mass burnings of Maple Leaf jerseys on the streets of Toronto.
And I hate when people do that, but like, how can I blame people? Because the mental fragility extends to the fan base. And it's like, eventually you start sitting there, and I did it too. You know, when the Caps went down 2-0 to Columbus the year they won, and they talked to Ovi after. They lost the first 2 games at home, by the way. I'll never forget it. I almost broke a dinner plate. Sorry, Kate. I almost broke a dinner plate when I'll never forget it. Artemi Panarin scored backhand cheddar in overtime in game 2. And I was like, they're doing it again. They're doing it again. And I remember Ovi coming out and saying, it's going to be different. I can't wait to come back here for game 5. And I was like, and it's not like I didn't believe, because the belief is what keeps you coming back. I remember people being like, you're a bad fan. You don't believe they can do it. It's like, do you not understand? The belief is what is choking me to death. I believe, and that's why I'm so mad that they don't do it. So like, and they turned around and did it. And now I believe if the Caps made the playoffs this year, why wouldn't I believe they could win a round? Like, you know, I've seen them do it.
Right.
But with the Leafs, it's like, I don't blame the fans for being like, these guys are morons. And right now, they are some of the biggest, and I don't mean this to come across as rude as it likely sounds. They are one of the biggest groups of collective losers in sports right now. Forget about the NHL. Sports, because of the level of gathered talent. And all we hear every year, this team's ready, this team's ready. We've learned. We're learning, continuing to learn. If they do this again.
That's what I said earlier, yeah.
Go back to think about all the teams for years that were favorited. The San Jose Sharks, at least they made a cup final. My guys. I think if the Leafs do this again and lose in the first round with this level of talent on the roster for the 7th year in a row, they will be the biggest group of losers and choke artists that I have maybe ever seen. I don't even know who to compare this
I
to.
Don't disagree. I don't disagree.
And that's just a
You're talking to 2 Leaf
reality.
fans here, and we don't disagree, Ryan. They have to find a way.
Is that part of what the players mentally have to hurdle? Yes, it is.
It's exactly what I said
There's
earlier.
no way they don't sit there and think about that.
Yeah,
but I think
absolutely.
They can't do this.
Let's go back to the coaching a bit too. Like, look at, I like Keefe as a coach, but if Holl is in the game tomorrow night, that's a mistake, and we know that. So now do you start to look at the coaching as part of the problem? Because Liljegren somebody else should be in the lineup instead of Holl.
And especially because you have the depth now, Doig. You have the depth. You don't have to call someone up from the Marlies. You have
to go trade for all those guys for
in practice yesterday. Exactly. Like
put him in.
Like Connor Timmins is
Liljegren can't play better than this.
Yes,
impossible to imagine Liljegren can play better than this.
He can't play worse, can he? Is it possible for him to play worse than that?
Exactly.
I don't know how.
The minutes he racks up too. Like he's out there in the penalty kill, and I'm like,
he does block a lot of shots, but
here's what it is though. Yeah, great. He blocks shots. He doesn't block a lot of bodies.
So dress 7D.
You know,
again,
like
and
I wouldn't do that. I don't want him out there. I don't want him out there. And that's what I'm talking about if they lose again, what the ultimate downfall will yet again be the unwillingness to just admit you're wrong. Right, and I'm talking more about Dubas here because you heard it when he was really getting it last year, Justin Holl, about how, but
he's done it, Ryan.
We have numbers.
Got defensemen. Like we have more defensemen now.
But he's still playing. He's still playing.
But that's not on Dubas.
No,
well, he's part of it. He loves Justin Holl. He signed him. He kept him around. And constant last year, remember, he said, well, we have numbers that say that he does a lot of really good things.
I have numbers too.
The only number that matters,
3.3%.
That's the only number that matters right now, is that he is on the ice all of the time when they score. The Tampa Bay Lightning, when they see Holl on the ice, they all sit there and go,
their eyes
party
light
time.
up. Yeah,
it's party time down the left side.
Yeah, for sure it is. 100%.
Can't wait.
Absolutely.
This guy's big. Here's why he's in the lineup, and this is it. Dubas likes these analytical numbers where he's got these good zone exits and makes a good first pass and all this stuff. Other guys can't make a pass.
Awful.
Other guys can't make a pass. Timothy Liljegren and Eric Gustafsson, they can't make a pass.
Liljegren's a better passer than Justin Holl. I'm sorry.
Then he's big. He is big, but he's big for no reason.
Right. 100%.
He doesn't body guys.
Yeah,
guys
he went to hit a guy yesterday.
Like he's a friggin' ghost.
He doesn't know how to hit. He's never learned.
Justin Holl is an apparition. He's an apparition in a haunted house.
He's 6'3" and he plays like he's 5'7".
Absolutely. Absolutely. Last night, the worst one I've seen so far. Morgan Riley opens the scoring. 26 seconds later, he's floating way up at his own blue line, and they get past him. They get an initial shot in there.
He doesn't know how to hit.
He misses the hit, and then Tampa gets an initial shot. They're whacking and banging away at it, and instead of rushing back to try and get back there, he just coasts back, and Cirelli taps it in. Or as
it goes
our
back
friend
to
Steve
game
Sabrin
one.
calls him, celery. He taps it in. What's going on here? I would have benched him right there.
It goes back to game one when he had a chance to set the tone in the first 2 minutes of the series and lay out Corey Perry.
Yeah, Corey Perry
goes between him and the net. Goes between him and the net and scores a goal. And I'm like, the depth. They have 10 healthy defensemen at practice history. 10. You telling me he's one of the top 6? Wow.
Not a chance.
I don't get it.
There.
I just don't get it. He's got to sit next game. Bunting's coming in, and he's coming in.
You think Bunting will replace him?
I think Bunting will come back in. Like, let's be honest. This guy was on the basic number one line before he was Mr. Stupid. And I think by Sheldon Keefe, I think he did the absolute right thing by sitting him out last night in Game 5.
They still could have won
3 games. The team won 3 games in a row. He's not a difference maker on most nights, but I think you'll see him back in the lineup in Game 6. Yeah, I don't know if he's coming out. Lafferty probably, but he's got. And I think that by Keefe making him a healthy scratch, he's got to know that he can't be stupid anymore.
Yeah, because that's his issue. Is he's playing? He's so hyped up for it. He's playing on the edge. Yeah, now, he's that guy that wants it. He wants it so bad he can taste it.
Right. I agree.
But you got to figure out a way to keep him on the edge, on the right side of that edge. And that's the only thing that concerns me is, does he go out and take another stupid penalty and cost us the game?
Yeah.
Right?
And
I guess I would rather put him in Game 6 than Game 7 as the first game.
Yeah, I think you'll see him back. And I don't know, I would think Lafferty's coming out or Aston Reese. You know, Kerhan's, if Kerhan's doesn't score that overtime winner, he might be out because he was invisible again last night. He didn't have a good game. Makes a stupid, no one near the guy, and he sends it over the glass. The refereeing last night too, not the reason the Leafs lost, but was awful. Like how Maroon Moron didn't get a more of a 2-minute penalty. I don't even think he got the 2-minute penalty for hitting Giordano. I think he got the 2-minute penalty when he went after Matthews in front of the net. I don't think there was a call at all on Giordano on the hit from behind. And then Nyes gets high stick with 2 minutes left. And the referee
here's what I think.
In both
here's
instances,
what I think
the
happened
referee
there.
is 4 feet away. Anyway,
here's what I think happened. You would have liked to have seen a boarding call there. I think the only thing I can think of is that because Giordano turns and spins, maybe, and I don't think this for the record, maybe the refs thought, oh, he turned, and because there's that whole argument of where if you're along the boards and turn quickly, you put yourself in a vulnerable position. I wonder if that was the thinking, because here's the thing with that hit. It's not I saw people going, that's clear interference. It's not. Giordano had the puck, and it wasn't late.
Mm-hmm.
But he gets him, and he really plastered. Like, I would have liked to have seen a boarding call. People were screaming about how it was a 5-minute major, like the Clifford one. But it was not, because Ryan, the Clifford one, he saw nothing but numbers.
No, I know.
And
all
railed
I'm saying,
the guy.
Though, here's what I'm saying.
The penalty should have been a penalty.
Call the 5 minutes and review it.
Yeah, you could have done that. You could have done that too.
They did that with Morgan Riley.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, call 5 minutes and review it. Just look at it. No.
And again, this is part of adversity where you're just going to get bad calls, and you have the talent. You got to figure it out.
But then Nyes gets high stick with 2 minutes left and no call. And the referee was standing right 4 or 5 feet away, looking right at it.
Yeah.
Last year, different story.
If that had been Wes McCauley, they could have been in some serious trouble. People would have been throwing stuff at them.
Mm-hmm. He'll come back to game 6 probably, or 7.
You never know. Now, I want you're talking about late in the game there in the corner when Nyes got high sticked, right?
Yes.
I'm watching the clip here, and he didn't actually get high sticked. I don't know what he was doing, but he was trying to draw a call. And I mean, he's actually lucky he didn't get a penalty for embellishment there. Like, the league will look at that, I'm sure, and be like, you never got hit.
Well, Cal Foote drew a penalty last year in game 6, or game 7, whatever it was.
Yes,
there was no high stick near him either.
I believe it was game 6. Yeah. It's one of those phantom things where, again, there's going to just be bad calls, and on Bunting's side of things,
I know
he's got to come in and figure himself out a little bit. Tom Wilson had to do it too, and they want a Stanley Cup. I mean, like,
he's more psycho than Bunting.
I'm out of excuses for these guys. Like, I have none left.
You and me both. They have to win. They have to win. Like,
Ryan, think about me. I've been watching this since 1968. I was around in 67 when they won, and I've been a Leaf fan my whole life. This is getting to be painful, right?
Oh, dude, I can't imagine.
Right?
I can't imagine.
Years I've been waiting for this. Right?
Please, come on, guys. It's got to stop. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll start kind of previewing what we might think might happen in game 6, and obviously chat a little bit more about another disappointing loss in a clinching game here on Instigating. We'll be right back. Back here on Instigating, Ryan Drury, Clarkey, our buddy Ian Doig from the Ian Doig Golf Academy, still chatting about the Maple Leafs, obviously now pushing that record to 0-10 when they could clinch a series. Can't reach 0-12, just cannot do this. Again, Clarkey, quickly, let's just address this. And it's not even so much about this guy, but you mentioned it. That goal Samsonov let in last night, that second Tampa goal, that he has played very well, and he has played better than Vasilevsky when the chips have been down. Like, let's just be honest. He has Vasilevsky, but this happened last year too. Like, Vasilevsky struggled and then came alive the last 3 games and was really, really good. And then he did it again that second series last year against the Rangers. Remember, Tampa went down 3-1 to the Rangers, and all of a sudden
they were down 2-0.
This guy
lost the next 4 and won the next 4.
This guy is the boogeyman in net. Like, sometimes the boogeyman doesn't come out from under the bed, but if you let him creep his head out, all of a sudden you look down over the edge of the bed and there he is. And I'm afraid that they might have poked a bear here, because all this guy's been hearing about is how he's brutal on screens, and the old assistant coach is saying they had to completely change their defense because of his inability to stop a screen. Like, that, it's weird to me that anybody's making bones about that. It's like, yeah, every goaltender struggles with screens and tip-ins. Marty Brodeur had struggles with tip-ins. The puck completely changes direction. That's like saying, oh, yeah, we had a really hard time hitting Tom Glavine's curveball. It's like, yeah, so did everybody else in the league. Like, it's a stupid thing to point out. However, he has legitimately struggled. But, man, if you let him start feeling it, I don't know, man. All we've seen this guy do is when it comes down and the chips are down, he plays really, really well. And he did it again last night. And I'm afraid that he's going to start turning into that game 6 and 7 Andrei Vasilevsky, where the S word might come into play in one of these games, which simply cannot happen. Samsonov legitimately has been better than him. But that goal he let in last night, that second one, I sat there and watched it and went, that's who Samsonov is to me. That's Washington Capitals Ilya Samsonov. He did that all the time. And you'd wonder, like, how can he lock in and look so dialed and look like the talent is starting to combine with the consistency, and then something like that happens? Like, every goalie lets in a bad goal here. But he is on, let's be fair here, and our buddy Dark Guy's going to see this and freak out. He's on a prove-it deal. And he's on a prove-it deal for a reason. Let's give the guy his flowers. He played very well this year. He had a .919 save percentage. It was .928, I believe, at home. .892 on the road. Okay? Like, and it all combines to a nice round number. Like, .919 is a very good, that's above league average. It's well above league average. But he is on that 1 year, $1 million prove-it deal for a very good reason. And he's part of this. He is part of not the past failures of this core, but he's part of this group of, we need to show that we're different. And now in clutch games, one bullet's gone. You got two more. What's he going to be like now in a situation that he's never been in? He's never closed out a series. He's never had a huge shutout in a game where they could put a team away or something like that. Never done it. What do you got? What do you got?
I agree. It was a very weak goal, but I still go back to that weak goal partly was caused by Holl. If Holl turns the right way and angles him into the corner, he doesn't get the shot. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. You know?
I'm always one to defend goalies, as you know.
Yes.
But even though Holl turned the opposite way, he still limited his shot. He still limited his shot to a very low percentage shot that went in. Now, when I saw that goal go in, here's the first thing I thought of, Ryan, and you'll laugh.
Okay.
I have trouble with those too. Because you can't go down because your pad's stuck against the post. And you can't go in the normal butterfly. But then I thought, I'm a 56-year-old goaltender who has never played at any level competitively in my life. He's got to stop it. Like, every goalie makes. Listen, I'm sure if we get our producer on and talk about how Darcy Kemper played last year in the playoffs, he let a lot of beach balls in too. Like, he wasn't very good, but they won despite of him. In spite of him, they won. That's what the Leafs have to do. They just have to win. I don't care how good or bad the goaltending is. And yes, it can be demoralizing at times when that happens. But they weren't out of the game at that point. They were down one goal. They were down one goal, and then he gets tied up with Kampf in front of the net, and there's like a
adversity.
Right.
You're down.
You're right.
Save your goalie. Your goalie saved you plenty of times.
Right. Exactly.
Where are these
I'm not
$10
blaming
million guys
whatsoever.
No, you can't blame him for the loss.
I think he's outplayed Vasilevsky, but he's got to do it in the last two games. No question about it. But you know the other thing.
Hold on there, Clarkey. There better not be two games.
Sorry, you're right.
If we go to game 7,
you're right, Dougie. You're right. See, I'm already that mental.
If we go to 7 games, we're in trouble.
That Leaf fan in me who just assumes there are going to be two more games.
Here's the thing, though, that I would say and is different about Darcy Kemper. We have no room right now to criticize that guy because, yes, did he let some bad goals in? And let's not forget
won the cup.
here.
I get it. I know. That's what I said.
Well, but also, if we're talking about the individual here, let's not forget that he took a stick blade into the retina and had a real hard time, and he acknowledged afterward and even on the day of their cup parade that he still had not completely gotten 100% of his vision back. This dude went out there and made saves when it made it, when it was needed. He made saves when it was needed.
Yeah, I know.
And did enough to knock off the beast that is Tampa Bay, the team the Leafs are playing.
Yeah, in the final, yeah.
A guy with a dodgy eye got it done, right? So, and he played real well this year for my Caps. Now,
the other thing I'm getting, if I can just quickly say,
please,
and I know he's
elaborate.
He's earned this right, but man, John Cooper is so pompous and he's pissing me off. Like he's just he like
he can piss you off, but I hope it's not affecting the players, right? Because he's the master of the mind games.
Here. I know he is. I know. And did you see
what's pissing you off, Clarkey?
Just the way he's so pompous and just like, I wouldn't bet against these guys. Like I wouldn't bet against these guys. And he just sits there and
well, what's wrong with that? Why would he's right?
I get it.
He's got the right to do it. Look what
I know he does. He's just pissing me off. Because they're winning.
Well, you're just mad. I think this is the like Doigie's wall behind him there, and the egret beak. I think this is a little green envy that's shining through, and I understand.
Yeah,
it's
a
little jealousy.
Not only do I want to beat the team, the players, I want to shut him up too. I want to shut him up.
Of course. Do you not think that I was so ecstatic that dude? This sounds goofy because like I watched them beat Vegas in the final. When the Caps put Pittsburgh out, that was like honestly even better.
Yeah.
Like the Kuznetsov OT winner, that was the greatest moment of my life. Like when they put Sidney Crosby out, I thought, little take that. Like, it's about friggin' time.
The roller coaster of emotions, right? Like just, as I said, we talked yesterday on the phone for half an hour about this team and how, win tonight and the sky's the limit. And now today we're like, please.
I think so too, though. That's the crazy thing. Like,
but that's the fun part, I think, about being a fan. But you gotta every once in a while you gotta let us be happy. Come on, hockey gods, let us be happy this year, please.
And I think,
can you imagine if we don't win this series? Like honestly,
Jesus! Like it.
Oh, I know, Doigie. Hey, listen, you don't have a tattoo on your arm. I do.
I might just stay in Florida.
And you know what? Like everything seemed to be aligning.
Lightning season seats.
Florida beats Boston. They've extended that series to 6 games. The defending Cup champs look like they're going down to the Kraken. We'll see if they have anything left.
Yeah, the Cale Makar. Can we talk about that real quick? Because I mean, what? Finish your thought on the Leafs though, because we got.
I was just going to say, like, too. Everything seemed to be lining up all of a sudden. The Rangers. Yeah. They're now down 3 games.
The Rangers, man, are they ever in trouble?
Like, and I saw Panarin also. You talk about Nylander and Marner not showing up. Oh my God, Panarin was it looked like he had a broken leg most of the night. The highlights.
And again, though, I know the fans in New York are freaking out because they went all in and they got Tarasenko, they got Kane, and Kane's played really, really well. Tarasenko's been. Yeah. Okay, and Panarin. But again, it's like, and I know they didn't do it there, but we're talking about guys that have won cups. So I'm sitting there going, well, where's everybody else? Like Mika Zibanejad for that. Like he's turned into a ghost. Where is this guy?
Yeah.
And the kid line, they're lost. Like, where's Hedel?
Not where he was last year. So anyway, the stars seem to be aligning. Okay, like things are going good here. Like even Boston.
We got to get past Tampa first.
I'm sure. I know, but what I was saying is, all of a sudden you look like, okay, Boston's going to 6th game with Florida. Like even if they win, which I think they will, maybe they're going to be a little tired. The way the Leafs played, if they get this monkey off the back, boom, sky's the limit. And then today it's like, oh God, just
they don't seem tired.
2 games. Anyway, there you go. What were you going to get into?
Makar.
Yeah, well, let's get into some of the other stuff around the league here, man. Cale Makar
suspension, 1 game.
Holy cow. Like, I don't know what he was thinking. And this, here's the thing. I don't want to go into wild things about the refs and this and that. Cause at the end of the day, like I've said, everyone gets bad calls, non-calls. You just do it if you're a champion. If you have the heart of a champion, you overcome that. What I am more than happy to criticize is NHL player safety. What are we doing here? He got a benefit of the doubt suspension. The act was bad enough that they were like, well, we do have to suspend this guy. I would have been perfectly okay if he had gotten 3 games. What the hell was he thinking? I saw it, and this is a little rich, but I saw people comparing it to the Dale Hunter, Pierre Turgeon hit.
Dude, okay, listen to me. Let me interrupt you right there. I don't know if you watched Overdrive this week, but they put those plays side by side.
I know.
There's no way. How many games did he get? 20 or 20? What did he get?
Dale got 26 and appealed it and served 20.
Okay, so 20 games. If he got 20 games, Makar gets 14 or 7, like in playoffs, because it's usually done.
So
there's no way there was a discrepancy of 19 games between those two plays. Like, there's no way.
Again, I would have been fine.
Champs, it's Cale Makar. It's blah, blah,
That's
blah.
what I mean, right?
It's a joke.
Like, you can't
it's absolute
do this.
Joke.
You have to suspend the act.
Yeah, they do this all the time. As well as I do, they don't.
They do this all the time with Wilson, and I feel like the last couple of suspensions he got were junk, and no other player would ever have gotten suspended. Now he earned. You're right.
I totally agree. And
the suspension he got in the playoffs that year was warranted. He broke the poor kid's jaw. But like, what are we doing here? Like, oh, Cale Makar, good guy. He's never done anything before. But like, that logic is broken to me, because it's like, I could go out today. I've never killed anybody before. I could go out today and kill somebody. I'm not gonna, by the way, everybody. I'll be back next week. It makes no sense, because what would I expect there reasonably? I sit in front of a judge and the judge goes, well, right, he's never killed anybody before, so maybe we'll only give him 10 years. It's like, no, come on. 25 to life. Like, what are we doing here? And I'm not saying that Cale Makar deserved that, but like, one game?
What's scary is in the Canadian judicial system, that might actually happen.
Yeah, it might actually happen. Yeah. Jesus, don't we know? Friggin' ridiculous. But my point is, like, what George Peros, the league asks for this, and then they have to. Gary Bettman has to give goofy. Everyone knows he's lying answers about, oh, well, no, we've got a great player safety. You do not. And I'll say it again. George Peros is the wrong type of guy to have in charge of that department. I really believe that they should have. I've heard people say it before when remember, this guy disappeared forever. And then TSN, I think it was Rick Westhead, did that great feature on him. Paul Correa. I would offer Paul Correa whatever he wanted. Like, please come be the director of player safety, because that dude suffered immensely.
They don't want that.
No, of course they don't, because they want guys to get suspended. Yeah. And it's ridiculous. Like, you have to suspend the act. Cale Makar, yes, is he a superstar? Yes. Is he the best defenseman in the league? I probably think so still. That was a brutal play. Like, it's nowhere near. That was such a bad hit. Like, if they had given him 3, 4, if they gave him 6, I don't care.
Yeah, when you compare it to Dale Hunter,
buried the guy.
You can't just give him one. You can't.
And now the Dale Hunter one, let's be honest, that might be the greasiest play in NHL 100%, history.
But it wasn't
a series
games
winner.
More. But it wasn't
it was
19
a series
games more.
No, it wasn't. And he killed Pierre. And I love look, I love Dale. Like, he's a cat. I love Dale, okay? And a lot of people don't. He still maintains to this day that he didn't hear the goal horn.
Okay, whatever.
Which is like outrageous. And I guess if you're going to take that kind of idiotic
guy was
stance,
celebrating right in front of him. His hands were up in the air.
And that's part of why he got the hefty suspension, right?
For sure. But still, it was still not
one of the most
more.
boneheaded plays of all time. Yeah. And he separated Pierre Turgeon's shoulder. Like, he was one of the Islanders' best players, and he just buried. People, if you're watching this and you don't know what we're talking about,
just go
on YouTube and literally type. You might only need to type in Dale Hunter, but type in Dale Hunter, like bad hit, or Pierre Turgeon.
Yeah, Turgeon. Yeah.
You'll see what we're talking about. It's just so greasy. Like, oh man. That's one of the worst plays of all time. And was Makar's as bad? No, but was it so much less bad than a 1-game suspension? It just wasn't. So I don't know. They still got to fix it.
I think hockey players in general, once in a while, they lose their mind. They go blank. I mean, you think back to Marty McSorley hitting Brashear.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, come on. What's Marty McSorley thinking?
Bertuzzi.
Hey?
Bertuzzi.
Right. Another example, right?
Two of the worst ones ever.
Yeah. So what's happening in their mind at that point in time? Like where
just
do
going
they
nuts.
go?
Yeah.
There's a disconnect for sure. Right.
There absolutely is. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there.
Those ones were nasty.
I'm sure
Don't
you
YouTube those ones. They're bad.
I had a
punch somebody, but I mean, there's a couple greasy maneuvers on the golf course, and we got a brawl in the back.
I've done some things in the crease there that I'm like, why did I do that? Like, why?
No, not you, really.
Oh yeah, like believe it or not, Ryan, in men's league E division,
I believe it.
Men's E division. Yeah, I had a guy backing up on me. I kept blocking him and pushing him. And once he backed up so much, the net came off. And I looked at the ref. I go, like, when does this stop? And he goes, he's not hurting you. And I'm like, yeah, but he's breaking the rules of the game. So he came in again. I blocker him. And then I'm like, okay, you're getting the how do you do. Boom, stick between the legs. And I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
No, you should have. Absolutely. I agree. You should have. I would have done it.
And it was,
he gave him the old battle and Billy Smith stick. I love it.
Yeah, it wasn't gentle.
Clarkey's heard this story.
You're such a hero.
When I played hockey back in the day, I was still a teenager. And Clarkey heard this story a couple of weeks ago when we were having dinner. A guy on the other team spit in my face in front of the net in his scrum.
No.
I chased him. He was a better skater than me, but I chased him all over the ice. And finally, he got into his own bench, thinking he was safe. And I went dove head first into the bench, swinging. It ended up being a bench clearing brawl. Our whole team was in their bench fighting, player against player. It was crazy.
What team were you playing?
You got to do it.
Where are you playing?
I was playing for the Seaforth junior team. Sorry here, guys. That's my wife, and I told her not to call this morning because
it's 9 o'clock. She probably thought we were done. It's 9 a.m.
You know what?
As we record. So.
You know what? I bet Chuggy is wondering when are we making our golf picks next, because she did win the last round. So
asterisk.
We'll get back to her on that asterisk. No.
Well, we have nothing. We have nothing coming up until we've got the U.S. Open in June. So
that's right.
There'll be something in May. Is the PGA played in May this year?
Dude, you're the golf guy.
I think it might be.
I think it is. I think the PGA's at Oak Hill in May. So we've got the PGA.
We'll take a break and have a look, and we'll confirm.
Okay.
We'll confirm when we come back. All right. We'll take a quick break here on Instigating. Back to wrap the show up after this. Back to wrap things up here on Instigating this week. Ryan Drury, Clarkey, and our friend Ian Doig of the Ian Doig Golf Academy. And we're trucking along here. And speaking of trucking along, Clarkey, our friends at Larry Hudson Chevrolet Buick GMC. If you're looking for a truck, tell us about it.
Well, HD's in stock, as we mentioned last week. We have some on the lot, ready to go. 4.99% financing. As I said, when you need a truck and we have a truck, there's only one place to go, and that's Larry Hudson's. The other thing we have coming soon are the new Colorados and Canyons. They're going to be coming soon. Brand new, redesigned. I think our friend Ian Doig might want to come in and take a look at those, because I know he likes the smaller trucks, and we got to get him away from the toy trucks. But that's fine. And also we have, as of recording time, one 2022 left at 1.49% financing in our half tons, and it's a high country and it's a beauty. So if you want a great deal on financing, 1.49 you cannot beat. Come on out and let's chat. And we have a Camaro on the used lot too, Ryan.
I know you've told me about this Camaro. I don't know if I'm the Camaro guy, but someone out there is.
You are, for
and
sure.
If you want to come out to Larry Hudson's and find that, or a great new truck, go see our buddy Clarkey or any of the great staff over at Larry Hudson's. Hudson's has it, and they got your trucks if you want.
We have it.
Let's talk a bit about some of these other series as we record this. Winnipeg Jets, night. One Canadian team of the three. Goodbye,
what do you think's going
Vegas
on there, by the way? I want to know what your thoughts are in that dressing room, because I don't know if you saw Rick Bowness last night, but it was unbelievable press conference. It was about 30 seconds long, and he was calling out his superstars and was disgusted. I
think they need a big reset there, man. I don't know what's going on in Winnipeg, Clarkey. I've told you this story before, Doigie. I don't know if I've mentioned this to you, but I remember when Paul Stastny left the team and obviously is in Carolina right now. There was a beat reporter there that worked for one of the local papers who tweeted out, because all that stuff came out about how Paul Stastny donated to the trucker convoy and all that stuff, and wasn't very good press for our buddy Paul. And a beat reporter there whose name is escaping me went on this big Twitter tirade, not specifically about him, but off the back of that news, and basically said, I've covered a lot of controversial, rooms, gatherings of people, politics. I've seen some wild stuff. And the guy said, I have never been around a worse locker room than the Winnipeg Jets. And I was like, wow, that's a statement.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
Paul
don't
Maurice
know what's
left.
up over there.
Paul Maurice walked out on them.
Yeah.
Like
Mo got out of there. I mean,
something's got to be going on in there. Like
I don't know
what
who
it
to
is,
blame, where to point
Rightfully,
fingers.
I don't
Like
know.
something's up in there. Something is stinky in that room.
Yeah.
I don't know. It can't just be one guy. This is a hockey team. Something's up over there, man, and it's not great. So I don't know. You do have to kind of wonder what's going on, but it doesn't
that's what I
matter
was
now.
asking.
They're out.
I was hoping you would have the answer.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Like,
not in
who
the
else
room.
left?
I
Big Buff
can't
left,
tell you.
right? Big Buff.
Buff. Pardon me, Buff. He just picked up his bag and retired and went fishing.
Yeah. Right.
Never to be seen again. Never to be heard of again.
Never to be seen again. They can't find this guy.
Something's going on. Anyway, if they lose, they're out.
Up.
Yeah.
You wonder, like, they say the what rolls downhill. Is something up with ownership there? Like, are the players not, treated properly? I don't know. Like, we're not in that room.
Related.
Like,
I think it's all players.
You would think think so, right? It's really hard to say, but
players.
They're out.
They're out.
It could be the cold of playing in Winnipeg. Maybe their brains get frozen or something.
Well, yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Like, are they afraid of the polar bears? I don't know what's going on out there, man. It's bizarro world. What we're not afraid of. Clarkey might be, but we aren't, Doigie, making golf picks. And Chuggy won the last one, and she came in late with
asterisk.
a team. We're saying a team of scraps, no asterisk, straight up loss.
No.
She came in late with a pick on the Masters, and her team won. She won. She had the best team on strokes, and that's what we're going to continue doing. Our next set of picks are going to be the PGA Championship. Now, that's going to be starting on May 18th. It's in Rochester. It's going to be a great tournament. Everybody viewing, we will be doing picks again, and Chuggy's just going to be part of the snake draft. Like,
right.
Because we have to include her now. Right. Because then Clarkey can't complain about this made-up asterisk. Yeah. Like he's like
a little
the
different
Hall of
when
Fame
pressure on
with
you.
Barry Bonds or something here, asterisk. We're not doing that. So she's going to be part of it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Early thoughts on who might come out on top there? I mean, do you like Rahm to keep rolling? Is Scheffler going to bounce back? What are your thoughts there, Doigie?
Well, before we even get there, the only thing that Clarkey's concerned about is because he's kind of like the Leafs right now. He's 0-6 in these majors. He hasn't won.
That's not true. I don't know where you're going with that. I think I won one couple of times ago. Yeah, I'm not sure.
You did win one when it was just you and I.
Exactly.
You did win one when it was just you and I. I can't remember which tournament that was.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I think it's too early to tell who's going to be favored there or who you want to.
I mean,
pick.
It's a month away. Like
it's a month away. We gotta wait for the guys to see how they're playing and everything. Obviously, I'm not going to pick Will Zalatoris. He's out for the year, so please
old
don't
whiskey mitts.
So now I know this might be a stupid question, Doigie, but it is the PGA Championship. So no live guys in this. Or they will be.
No, the live guys will be.
They will be. See, I don't get this.
Sure. I'm pretty sure they're going to be allowed.
They're not on the PGA Tour. How can they be in the PGA Championship?
No, the PGA of America runs this event, not the PGA Tour. So it's different. It's a different entity. And the PGA of America has already talked that live players are eligible for the Ryder Cup because they're trying to figure out if Zach Johnson is going to pick any live players for his team. And Ian Woosnam came out just yesterday or the day before and said the Ryder Cup will cease to be what it has been for the last 40 years if we don't field the best players. And he makes
Yeah.
a great point.
That's
like,
true.
how can it be the Ryder Cup if you don't have Koepka
No,
there? You don't
For
have,
sure.
whomever there, right?
Or their
So,
wives running around the green with their heels on after they make a putt.
yeah, after Justin Holl makes a putt. But it's, so yeah, they're going to be there. I think that's going to be good. Again, I forget about all the drama and everything that's going on. I think they'll eventually come to a compromise and they'll be able to play in all the majors and everything will be fine and they'll come together. But that might be 2 or 3 years away. But
I like that. They'll live to play. I liked how you said that.
yeah. So I'm looking ahead though. I mean, I like JT. He always plays well in the PGA for some reason. I think that's very close to his heart because his father's a PGA member and that. It's a great golf course. They have thinned out some of the trees. So that will be interesting. Still very tree lined, but they have thinned it out a little bit. I may just jump in the car and drive down for a day. I've got a couple of free tickets. So if anybody's interested in Clarkey, Drew, you can always jump in the truck and slide down there and take it in the practice round or something on Tuesday. Say hi to some of the guys, go down and say hi to Corey, that type of thing. So let's maybe look at that when we're a little closer.
Doigie, you're still in Florida.
Yeah.
You're nursing the sore neck right now, but you'll be back at it soon. How's the Golf Academy looking this year? And can you make it maybe a promise to us here at Instigating that you're going to improve both of our games this summer?
Well, I can promise to improve your games, but you have to promise to put in the work.
Yeah.
You can't be like any other. Here's the problem with golf and learning golf. People want to come to the Ian Doig Golf Academy or the David Ledbetter Golf Academy or whatever, and they think we have a magic little wand, and in that 1 hour lesson, we're going to wave it above you, and the crystals are going to fall out, and tomorrow morning you're going to wake up as a great golfer. It doesn't work that way. You have to put the time in. So the easy way for me to explain it is my first 6 months as a professional after I turned pro, I averaged 1,000 practice balls a day for 6 months.
How many buckets is that?
Well, it's the great big round buckets. It's 2 of them a day.
Okay.
Right. There's 500 in each bucket. And I was going through 2 of those buckets a day. I was practicing at Disney World in Orlando. The director of golf, Eric Fredrickson, was a good friend and he helped me out. And they kept track for the first few months. And I thought it was because when I finally made some money, he was going to invoice me for all the golf and the practice and everything. And I took him out for lunch and he said, no. He said, if you're out here just dicking around and not working at it and not really wanting to get better, then I might have charged you. But after 2 or 3 months, you proved us wrong because you were hitting 1,000 a day.
Well, we got to come up and do a show from the Golf Academy outside.
Yeah.
Where it's a little more realistic and we can see the ball flight. And like I'm sure there's sand traps and stuff like that I could use a couple lessons to do. Let's do a show up there once the weather gets a little nicer. I've never been. I was invited. I can't say I wasn't.
You have been invited.
I have been invited. The invite was like ripped out from underneath me at the last minute, but that's fine. I'll come again.
Come on up. Plus, we're gonna try to do something when I'm in Listowel for the Ontario PGA Senior Championship.
Yes,
who's in I think July sometime, the end of July. So we'll do that. Hopefully, my game comes around. I've been starting to play very well, but I tweaked my neck, and I have spent the last couple of days just basically doing nothing, trying to rest it up. It feels okay now, so I will put in a 2 or 3 hour putting session this morning, and then another 2 or 3 hours on the short game. So I'll be out there for a while today. So
it's a nice place not to do nothing, Florida.
Yeah,
it ain't so bad. And the Leafs can't do that on Saturday night. And
Leafs are going to win.
Don't.
Leafs are going on next week. It's going to be a great second round preview for the Leafs.
We're closing the show, and I want you to know, and Doigie, you pointed this out before we started recording. I am wearing my Pearl Jam Tour T-shirt. Eddie Vedder's my all-time hero. I love Eddie Vedder, and I wore it for a reason. Because despite another disappointing series potential clinching loss, sing it with me, Clarkey. Oh, I'm still alive, right? Yeah. Eddie Vedder, 1991, let's go. Alive, my favorite. You're still alive. Let's close it out. Come on here, Leafs. We're still alive here on Instigating. You can watch the show every Friday night at 8 p.m. with our friends on Whiteman TV. That's channel 6 for Whiteman subscribers. Sunday nights at 9. Debut on our YouTube channel Friday nights at 9 p.m. Follow us on social media at Instigating Pod. We appreciate our great sponsors, Larry Hudson, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC. Go see Clarkey. Get yourself a truck. We appreciate our good buddy Ian Doig of the Ian Doig Golf Academy joining us here. We will be back next week, hopefully talking about a massive Leafs first round victory. Or
we'll be talking about Nick Nurse getting fired. No, probably not. There we go.
Probably not. Leafs, get it done. Instigating. We'll see you next week.